Whatever magic saxophone juice there is in the water there, one US state above all others defines an entire school of saxophone. From flying home to street life, we're talking about that bold, blues-drenched, fiery sound that just makes you want to get out of your chair and dance. So, are we talking about the Alaskan altoists or the Wyoming wailers? No, of course not. We're talking about the Texan tenors. I'm going to give you, in no particular order, 5 of my favourite Texan tenors, starting with the godfather of them all, Illinois Jacquet. And keep watching to the end, because number 5 might just surprise you. Illinois Jacquet was born in Broussard, Louisiana, not in Texas, on October 13th, 1919, but he was raised in Houston, Texas, where he began playing saxophone as a teenager, so we're going to allow him the Texan tenor. He came to national attention in 1942, with Lionel Hampton's orchestra delivering the famous solo on Flying Home that virtually defined the Texas tenor style, raw, vocal and explosive. That solo became one of the most imitated in jazz and rhythm and blues history, establishing Jacquet as the prototype for generations of blues-based tenor players. Through the 1940s and 50s, he led his own groups, blending swing power with early R&B energy, and continued to perform for more than 6 decades. The track I'm playing is called Wild Man, a later recording that shows the same spirit, the fiery phrasing, the big sound, and that unmistakable Texas swagger. So let's check it out. I'm playing it from about 3 minutes. And you can hear straight from the get-go the iconic Texan tenor sound with the growl and the one note and the fall-offs. This is blues in G for tenor. Got that wicked growly sound, but still combined with the bebop language. Sort of the 3-6-2-5 there. Yeah. Nice. Back to the one note groove, growly stuff. That's what he really made famous in Flying Home. Oh, that one is an absolute classic. He's going from D up to high G and then smearing it and growling it. And he's also using another big thing about Texan tenors, and all sax players to be honest, where you half tongue and you can get the groove going on one note. That's so good, man. Absolutely burning. So that, my friend, is the Cannonball trill, which is you play a B, and you sort of rifle your thumb on the high E key, and you work your way up B, C, C sharp, D. It was made famous by Cannonball Adderley. You can't really see my right hand, but that's what the Cannonball trill is. Woohoo! So the whole end of the solo is all on just riffing on that one note D. So that is the archetypal Texan tenor sound. Let's move on to number 2 now, over here. Number 2 is King Curtis. King Curtis was born Curtis Owsley on February the 7th, 1934 in Fort Worth, Texas, and became one of the most distinctive and influential saxophonists to come out of the state. He built his reputation through the 1950s and 60s as a session player and band leader, bridging jazz, rhythm and blues and soul with a sound that was both powerful and lyrical. In early 1971, he led Aretha Franklin's band for her celebrated concerts at the Fillmore West in San Francisco. That resulting album, Live at Fillmore West, you probably know it, was released in August 1971, just days before Curtis was tragically stabbed outside his Manhattan apartment, and he died on August the 13th of that year at only 37 years old. The track I'm going to play is Memphis Soul Stew, recorded in 1967. It captures everything that made him special: the tight rhythmic phrasing, irresistible groove, and those hair-raising altissimo screams that just send a shiver down your spine. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm playing from about 1 minute 25 here on Memphis Soul Stew. Let's check it out.
Well.
So straight in, he does this thing which really made King Curtis famous, which is the sort of stuttery yak-de-yak sax, the sort of chicken sax. It's actually really hard to do. I can't even really do it. We'll get to that altissimo in a minute. Yeah, it's a very percussive, spiky articulation. And remember, of course, King Curtis did that famous solo on Respect, the Aretha Franklin song. Let's back up a tiny bit so we can hear that hair-raising scream. Wow! So that is actually an altissimo F sharp. I don't know how he fingers it, but I actually just finger palm key E and overblow a 9. It's very sort of Junior Walker sort of vibe, isn't it? Now, one of the really interesting things about this style and this solo is he's only soloing in a very small range of the horn. He's really only going... Now, it's in B for tenor, so I'm really just doing a B pentatonic from B up to F sharp and back, sometimes going down from F sharp to G sharp and back to B, but nothing down here. Nothing low down, and then sudden jumps up to that high F sharp. That's kind of the vibe here. Okay, so there's a B. Oh, that's a killer. I don't even know how he does it. Is it double tonguing? I don't know. Yeah. And he actually goes up to a G sharp there. I don't even know how to do that. So good. Oh, so good. King Curtis, guys. Number 2 in our Texan Tenors. Time to move on to somebody who is equally awesome, but maybe not as familiar. And that is Arnett Cobb. So Arnett Cobb was born in Houston, Texas on August the 10th, 1918, and is often regarded as one of the founding voices of the Texas tenor tradition. After growing up in Houston's vibrant music scene, he joined Lionel Hampton's orchestra in the early 1940s, taking over the tenor chair from Illinois Jacquet, who we saw earlier, and carrying that same full expressive sound forward, very much in that tradition. His life wasn't easy. A serious spinal illness in 1950 and a car accident in 1956 left him using crutches for the rest of his life. Yet he continued to perform and record for decades. Until his death in 1989, he remained a symbol of strength and spirit, turning hardship into music that still speaks with warmth and energy today. The track I'm going to play you is Still Flying, recorded in New York on May the 13th, 1947 for Apollo Records. It captures everything that defines his sound. Huge tone, blues phrasing, and a joyful, driving sense of swing. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm playing from about 33 seconds. So this is rhythm changes in concert A, which I'm suspicious of. I think it's more likely to be A flat or B flat, but... He's literally just warming up at the moment, but we're still seeing the trademark things like the big beefy sound, nice wide vibrato, fall-offs. Yeah. Now, you can sort of see where King Curtis is coming from, right? King Curtis definitely came out of that Arnett Cobb tradition. In fact, this one's even in the same key, so it was quite a nice one to compare to Memphis Soul's G. And actually, they're very similar when you think about it. Yeah! Brilliant. So even though it's a rhythm changes in a sort of, with 2-5-1s and all the rest of it, he's still focusing on the pentatonic language. So he's not going... he's not doing that sort of language. Completely different. Woo! And loads of those sort of lovely note smears. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, well, what do you know? He's doing the old Cannonball trill again. Yeah. How good is that? Right, now we're back to that one note riffing, which we started with, remember, with Illinois Jacquet. Just riffing on one note like that. All right, just shortly, this whole thing goes into another gear. Brace yourselves. What's that? E flat. Now that is an altissimo E flat in 1947. You know, this is only 3 years after Charlie Parker recorded Coco. And here's Arnett Cobb on tenor, absolutely screaming up until those, right up into the altissimo E flats in 1947. That, my friend, is pretty insane in the membrane. Okay, just before we move on, I've got a free gift for you. It's only going to take me a few seconds to tell you about it. It's my Saxophone Success Masterclass. The link is there. It can really improve your saxophone playing instantly. There's a bunch of really cool stuff in there. It's yours for free. Just fill in your email. Okay, shall we move on to number 4? David Fathead Newman was born in Curacana, Texas on February the 24th, 1933 and grew up in Dallas, where he began playing in school bands before studying music at Jarvis Christian College. He became best known as a featured soloist with Ray Charles through the 1950s and early 60s, his warm tone and gospel phrasing helping to define Ray's sound. Although he's often remembered for those classic Atlantic recordings, Newman didn't actually play the tenor solo on I Got a Woman, that was Don Wilkerson, but his own work on tracks like Nighttime is the Right Time, that sort of thing, shows the same soulful intensity and lyrical phrasing that made him one of the era's most distinctive voices. Much of his most famous work was actually on alto, including the iconic Hard Times, but he always carried that unmistakable Texas tenor sensibility, so we'll let him off. Blues-rooted, vocal, and deeply expressive. The track I'm going to play is Tell the Truth, recorded with Ray Charles in 1959, where Newman's short, fiery tenor interjections just roar with gospel, blues, fire, and passion. The archetypal sound of Texas tenor. Let's check it out. Okay, here we go, playing from about 1 minute. All right, so we're in... Oh, that was sharp. We're in C for tenor. Yeah. What was it? Let me just back up that little phrase there. So, and again, there's that punchy, short, quick-fire articulation that we heard with Curtis. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, right up to the ninth. Brilliant. Absolutely. Absolutely awesome. Take a bow, David Fathead Newman. That was absolutely insane. I can only cover 5 today. These are a few of my favourites. They're in no particular order, but I've also got some honorary mentions for you, okay, before we hit number 5, which is a slightly surprising one. So here are my list of honorary mentions of Texan tenors from that state itself. And check out these players in your own time. Buddy Tate, Herschel Evans, Booker Irvin, Dewey Redman and Arnett Coleman are 2 kind of more avant-garde Texan players. Jimmy Jeffrey, you got Buster Smith, James Clay is awesome. And guess what? Ronnie Laws, who we interviewed in the ICM recently, famous for Always There and many other awesome tracks. But let's not forget that the style of saxophone that came from that state is not just... it doesn't stop with the people from that state. So I've got another list here of honorary mentions, which is people who kind of play in that vibe, who you should also check out if you love it. You've got Lee Allen, Sil Austin, Gene Ammons, Stanley Turrentine, Rusty Bryant. Oh, check out Fire Eater, Rusty Bryant, that is classic. Eddie Lockjaw Davis, and he is unique. Sam Butera, Jimmy Forrest, Night Train. Check that out. Junior Walker. Oh my God, I'm just such a Junior Walker guy. Eddie Chambly. And there's also Earl Bostick and Louis Jordan. They're alto players, but they kind of play in that Texan tenor style. So now we get to the last one, which might be a bit of a surprise for some of you. And it is Wilton Felder. Wilton Felder was born in Houston, Texas on August the 31st, 1940, and represented a more modern generation of the Texas tenor tradition. The same fat, soulful sound and fire, but refined for the studio age. He co-founded the Jazz Crusaders, later known, of course, simply as the Crusaders, alongside Joe Sample, Stix Hooper and Wayne Henderson, all fellow Houstonians who brought gospel and blues into a new contemporary jazz setting. Felder was also a first call session bassist, as if he wasn't a good enough saxophonist, for Motown, and countless Los Angeles recordings. His electric bass lines heard on hits like the Jackson 5's I Want You Back and Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. Yet on tenor saxophone, he remained unmistakably Texan, powerful, lyrical, and full of soul. His most famous solo came on the Crusaders' Street Life in 1979, but the track I'm going to play you is My Mama Told Me So, bringing his unique brand of infectious, soulful funk delivered with his trademark rich, penetrating sound, all executed with a flawless technique. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm playing from about 1 minute 35 on this track. This is on the album Those Southern Nights, Nights with a K. I love his sound. I'm always telling my students and people in the Inner Circle membership, get yourself some great blues licks. Here is an absolute bucket load of great blues licks. And he mixes up the minor blues scale with the major blues scale. So that's all the major blues scale, but that's the minor blues scale. So there's a great example of, using those scales in a hybrid way. Yeah. Great technique. Obviously way better than mine. So again, here's that Texan thing with the digga-da-da, 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 like those machine gun articulations. Oh, what a great blues lick. Let's hear that again. Minor blues scale. Major blues scale. Perfect example of what I'm talking about. Yes! Taken by Wilton Felder. Absolutely awesome. That's number 5 in our list of Texan tenors. So I hope you enjoyed my little exploration, and isn't it incredible how so many incredible players came from one state in America and defined that particular style of saxophone. Absolutely awesome. I've got a few cool things just before you go. I've already mentioned the Saxophone Success Masterclass, and I've also mentioned the Inner Circle membership, where there'll be a bonus video every time I put one of these videos out. And I'm there every single day of the week. Well, maybe not Saturday and Sunday, but that's where you'll find me, okay? So if you've got any questions, you'll find me inside the Inner Circle membership. 7-day trial, nothing to lose. Cost you like price of, I don't know, a few pints or something. It's really, really affordable, and it's the way you get access to me. Okay, until next time, make sure that you practice hard. Practice smart. Subscribe to this channel, please, and enjoy your music. Take it easy, guys. You've got, and take a screenshot or something of this plate. Plate? It's not a plate. Of this screen. Don't actually think I've got any outtakes, which is ridiculous.